Hey everyone, it's Daunter, and I'm going to be putting my name to the test in this list. Now, I know you can see by the title, obviously, but also I'm sure that you can see by the amount of tiers on this list. We're going to be going a little crazy, okay? This is going to be the Scarlet and Violet illustration rare tier list. This includes every single illustration rare from every single set, including unreleased ones, such as the ones that were just revealed for Paradise Dragona, and every single illustration rare-esque promo card in the Scarlet and Violet era. Now, this is a huge undertaking, so I might have to take a couple cuts here and there, but this is also posted on TierMaker. So if you guys are interested in looking at the tier list or making your own, good luck, first of all. But second of all, if you have anything to share with me, your opinions about this, make your own tier list, that'd be great. But yeah, let's just hop right into it. These tiers are a little bit out of order, but they are kind of still in order. So, for example, like all the promos are grouped here together. This is Stellar Crown promo or art rares right here, and it's just like a little bit out of order. But we do have the Scarlet and Violet base set art rares. They just start down here, which is kind of weird. But yeah, we're gonna be going through every single individual one, and we're gonna be ranking them. I have them all pulled up right here, so we can get better images of them, and I can take a little bit of a more in-depth look at them. So firstly, we have the Tarantula from Scarlet and Violet base set. I do think that the artwork on this one is actually quite nice. It's illustrated by Miki Tanaka, long-standing artist in the Pokemon TCG. I really like that Scyther is in this card, and it's got a lot of personality for a simplistic-looking card. So I think for a first card, it's pretty good. We're gonna throw it right into B tier though. I think it's right here in B tier, just for now, just to start off that list. Um, Second card is going to be the oh man. See, well, I actually have the list pulled out right here too, so we can do it this way. Is that really like that? Oh, what the heck? Hold on. Maybe I can. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That should work. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So this is the Dolliv illustration rare by Oswaldo Cato. This is a nice looking card. I really like the fields in the background. I like the details in the front foreground, and I do think it looks a little bit nicer than the Tarantula, even though the addition of the Scyther was a nice touch, I will admit. Um, but I'll put it above it, just in B plus tier, just for now. Our next card is going to be the Toad School. This is by Akira Komiyama. The colors on this one are fantastic. Really love the purple that they use for the trees in the background. Like it's like pink in the background and then purple in the foreground. You have like the yellow, the barrier breaking speed lines, and you have like this really cool like effect. Just a really unique looking art rare for a Pokemon as silly as Toad School. I'm a big fan of it, so I'm going to put it in the A plus tier. Our next card is going to be the Scovillain from Scarlet and Violet base set, illustrated by Kiyotaka Oshiyama. I really, really like this card a lot as well for a completely different reason. I think that the colors on this one are fantastic. I think that the shading is really nice. I really love this art style. There's so much detail, not only in the foreground, but also the background as well, with all those posters. You have the food hanging in the background as well. There's a lot of like hidden details in this card, so I'm inclined to put it in A plus tier as well. And I actually prefer it than the Toad School, but they're both really, really good. Our next art rare is going to be my personal favorite art rare in Scarlet and Violet base set, the Armarouge, illustrated by Nagimiso. This card is just beautiful. I mean, I really love the fact that it's like post rain. You have like the little raindrops coming down from the sky. You have the reflections in the water, like on the ground. They're reflecting the sky. You have like the sky, and it's a very nice like kind of. I don't know. It's just like a good vibe. The colors are really great. Armorage looks really, really nice in this card, and it's perfect in my opinion. It's one of the best art rares ever, in my opinion. I really, really love it. Our next art rare is going to be the Slowpoke, which is also really cute. This is by Toshino Aoki, long-standing artist in the Pokemon TCG. Um, it's really cute. I really like it. I love the colors. It's a very nice like look into the world. You have like this like very small. Slowpoke looks very small in comparison to everything else. So you have like this nice curve that kind of goes around to give it a little bit more depth. Um, it's a nice looking art rare. What can I say? That's what I'm gonna be saying about a lot of these art rares, that they're all, pretty nice looking. I gotta admit, I think that a lot of the art rares in Scarlet and Violet have done a really good job of being artworks. They just all look great. This one, Shinya Komatsu worked on this really nice looking Clauncher art rare. I think one of my favorite parts about this art rare is just the fact that Skrelp is just hanging out right here, kind of looking a little bit scared of Clauncher, even though Clauncher just doesn't really care. He doesn't even notice him. That's something that I never noticed about this artwork before, and I think that it adds to it. The colors are great. You have different like shading colors, different choices for the different kinds of kelp, and you have like these nice looking kind of rocky rocks as well. Kind of a bad description, but I do think that it looks really nice. So I'll put it in B plus tier. I do really like it. I'm a big fan. And then next is going to be the Wiglet by Yu Irby. This is a really nice looking card as well. You have a bunch of different Pokemon in this card. You got a Slowpoke, Psyduck, Shelder, Love Mareanie, and Skrelp. More Love Disc, more Love Disc. Really love the colors of this one. The shading itself is really, really nice. And I think Wiglet is obviously center stage, and it looks good. There's three Wiglets in the card, so that's kind of funny. And yeah, it's just a really great looking artwork. So I'll put it in A tier for now. We'll see. Obviously, I'll move stuff around as we go, but I probably won't be doing it that much on this list because it's such a long list. Next is the Dondozo, illustrated by Akira. Ah, man, I love this card. You have like 4 or 5 Tatsugiris in it. They're kind of like flying off in the background, but the detail in this card, the color choice is fantastic. You know, the thing is about waves is that usually you assume that waves are like a blue color, but in this one, they're all kinds of colors, right? You have like the yellow, kind of orangish waves blending into the purple, pinkish waves, and like it's like a hue, and it goes from top to bottom, which I think looks really nice. You even have like the red waves as well. I think the color in this one is fantastic. The idea is fantastic of like Dondozo breaching up, so I'm gonna have to put it in A plus tier, and I'll put it as my favorite for now. Actually, I like the Scovillain a little bit more. Our next one is going to be Pachirisu. This one is alright. It's by Zig, who is not an artist who gets a lot of cards. I like how there's just a goofy looking one just standing right here. And I like how they're conducting electricity between each other. It's not my favorite art rare in the set, but I do really like it. Like I like the colors, I like the background. I think it's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, it's got a lot of character. So I'll put it at least in B tier. I think that's fair. And that's the thing, is that Scarlet and Violet base set did a really good job with the character on these cards. Like, look at this one. This is by Koki Saito. Now for me, Koki Saito, usually their cards are not extremely interesting to me. Some of them are very interesting, but usually their cards are more like formulaic. But this one, it does have a lot of personality, like the Palmo right here. He looks kind of upset as he's stealing hay from the big Palma, who's just laying down on a big like hay bale. Got a lot of character, and it's perfect for Palma, which is like the poster child of Scarlet and Violet, or that's what they wanted him to be, right? So I'll put it in B tier. B just regular B tier. Near the top right here. Our next one is going to be the Drowsy by Tomokazu Kamiya. This one's pretty awesome, honestly. I really love all the details, like all the different people. There's so many different people. They're all very different from each other. Um, the different colored skies in the background is a really interesting idea. You have like the Ferris wheel and the carnival. There's this random looking stick figure guy standing in the back who's kind of scary. But then you have like the spotlight. The only light that's on is like highlighting Drowsy, which I think is really unique, really cool, really special. Um, and yeah, Tomokazu just does a great work with all their artworks always. Um, so I'll put this one in A tier for sure. I think I'm just gonna put it right here at the top of A tier. And then our next card is going to be the duo cards of Ralts and Curlia. This one is pretty cute. I like how Ralts looks kind of confused about what's going on, and they're moving in, as you can see from all the boxes and stuff. They're like packing and moving in. They got married, which is cool. A lot of detail in the card, and I think that the environment is really nice. Like you have like the whole house area. So yeah, I'll put it in B tier. B tier is maybe like I'll move this one down to regular B tier, B plus. I think that's okay. And obviously, I think I would do the same thing for the Curlia. We can look at it for a second, but I would put it in the same, maybe a little bit higher, just because there's a little bit more detail. Because they have like a quilted rug here. You have some socks going on. There's like a baby. And there's even more pictures, so it's a little bit more detailed, just kind of evolving as it goes, which is nice. I will put it above the regular one, and I think I like it a little bit more than the. Actually, no, the Clauncher is still pretty cute. Our next one is going to be the Fido art rare. This one is pretty cute. He's looking at a bunch of sweets, looking in the mirror. You can kind of see his face, even though it's reflected off the door or window or whatever, um, which I think is a cute touch. And all the pastries look very delicious. A lot of good detail in this one. Like I like the road. There's like 2 different layers of road, which didn't really need to be included, but I'm glad that it was. Like it adds that little bit of detail and depth that the card, kind of needs to make it like look fully fleshed out. The colors in this one are nice, simplistic, but definitely effective. This one, I'm gonna put it in. I like it. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think that's perfectly fair. Man, this is gonna get hard. This is the Grieford. This is by Soso. Soso is a very popular artist. They've done a lot of really good cards. And I really like the aesthetic of this one. Like the colors are really nice. Shading is super super nice. And then you have like all the quilted Pokemon on the ground. So you have like Drifloon, Gengar, Ghastly, Shuppet, and then you have a Banette in the chest, along with some Pokeballs as well. And then you have a Grieford laying down on the mat. Really cute. I'm a fan of it. I actually quite like it. So I'll put it in A tier. I mean, I think a lot of these cards are going in A tier just because I really love how like expressive and like great they are. Um, yeah. Then our next one is going to be the Riolu. This is by Nel Nel. I like how like confused he looks, even though obviously he's the one who did all this destruction in the house. Again, it tells a story. That's my favorite part about the art rares is they always usually tell a story. They make it interesting. You have Metacham, Lucario, and I think Nel Nel just did a great job with the perspective in this card. I think it just looks really nice. He's holding like a dumbbell in his hands, and yeah, I really love it. I really love a lot of the art rares in this set, and I think like they have some of the best ones, even though there are a lot of really good ones. But we'll get to them. Our next one is a Sandile, us by Nurikabe. Wow, I mean, like, this one is so, so nice. And, at first, like, when I first looked at this card, I didn't even realize that there was a Sandile chasing two Cacnea in the background. I just realized that right now. That's so cool. The artwork on this one is just fantastic. I mean, Sandile looks so realistic, so nice, and there's a lot of character put into the card, obviously, in the background, which I didn't even realize until just now. That's really, really cool, actually. It definitely bumps it up for me. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. I really like it a lot, actually. Just so much personality in that one. Our next one is the Cloth. This is by Mina Nakai. Mina Nakai is a great artist. This one kind of looks like a painting, almost like a simplistic painting. You have a bunch of cloths climbing up the rocks. It's not really my favorite art rare in the set, I don't think, but it does have some personality for sure. Like I like the rocks, I like how they look overall. Sorry if I keep like swallowing. It's because I'm just like going on and on and on. But I'll put it in B tier. And I think I'm gonna move the tarantula down to B minus tier. Unfortunately, I do like it. I just need to I need to make room on this list for I need to make sure that this list gets filled, right? This is with Mabostiff. This is by Okacheke. It's a really cute card. I like how you can kind of see Arven's face in the card, and you have like all the food prepared on the table. You have Mabostiff looking up at Arven, and then you have like the whole environment with the tree and the light. Really, really a lot of personality. You have the sparkles, like the shimmers. Um, it gives a lot of personality to a Pokemon who kind of needs it for like the introduction of Scarlet and Violet. And I think it looks really nice. I can't say this enough. I think a lot of these cards just look so good. They look so so good. A Bombardier. This is by Shibuzo. Again, just like really charming art style. Really nice looking Pokemon. I think it looks really happy. Like I like the flowers as well as the clouds. The colors that they use on the flowers are really really nice. It is not my favorite art rare in the set though. Um, I think I'll put it like right here. That's fine with me, like the B tier. Um, and B plus is getting a little bit filled, so I'm gonna put these down here and then this. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine for now. And then our next one is gonna be the King Gambit. This is by Shin Nagasawa. This one is amazing. Really, really love the colors on this one. I love how I like the how they're in a formation. You have Bisharp, a bunch of Pawniard, and a King Gambit kind of like leading them as like their leader. You have like these twisted trees in the background and the grass in the foreground. A lot of really nice detail in this card. And I like how their eyes are kind of glowing. It's one of my favorite ones from the set, honestly. I'm gonna put it in A tier, A plus tier. I think it's really, really good. Really, really solid. This next one is Starly. This is by Sayono Misaki. I have never really looked at this card in full detail, just because I don't know. It's like sometimes when I get my Pokemon cards, I just kind of like look at them once and then I put them down. But this one is really cute as well. I like how there's a bunch of different Starlies. You got like how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Starlies. And then you got like the tree branch that they're all laying down on, but you can also see the houses in the background. You can see like the river and you can see like the forest and stuff like that. So there is a lot of different details in the card, which I do appreciate. It is not one of my favorite cards in this set, but I do quite like it, like a decent amount, I would say. So I'll put it right here. Move this one down a little bit. Yeah, that's fine with me. Our next one is going to be the Squovet art rare. This is by T0. Um, for a Pokemon that I really hate, I don't really like Squovet, but the colors on this one are just fantastic. You have like the sunset colors. It's like a very soft shade of orange used for a lot of the background, just like the building of the house. You have a little Pikachu magnet on the fridge, which is kind of cute, and then you have Squovet kind of like laying down, resting its head on its own tail. Oh, you have that nice like glass table. You can really tell that it's like glass. It just has like a certain look to it. You have the flower plant, like potted plant. Not my favorite art rare in the set, but I can still definitely respect it and appreciate it. I'll put it in like low B tier. Like B minus here. I think it looks nice, but it's not my favorite art in the set. All right, well, we're already moved on to Paldea Evolved. So Paldea Evolved has some of the like best art rares in my opinion in the Scarlet and Violet era. Some really great looking artworks, and we're starting off with a banger here. Heracross looks so awesome in this card. I really like how he's like waiting for a bus or something. You could take it however you want. Um, but you have the trees growing in the background as they're like pushing outwards. You kind of have like a little diagonal pattern to this one. Like you can see that the trees are growing out into the left. You also have the clouds, and they kind of go out into the left as well. And then you have like this winding road. Heracross looks really nice in this card, and I think that the artwork itself looks really nice. I think that Kuruda So did a really great job on this card, and that inclines me to put it all the way up in A tier. Honestly, I think it's deserves to be up here with the big boys for now. I'll put this one down to B plus. Yeah, I think that's totally fine for it right now. This one is Tropius by Jerky. Now, I really don't like Tropius that much, but this card does give it a lot of personality. It is not my favorite artware ever made. I will say that. It's not my least favorite artware ever made or anything. And I really like the trees that they made. I like how there's so many different colors. Um, but it is not my favorite artware of all time. And I will say that just before I do anything evil to that thing. Our next one is the Sprigatito by Koki Saito. This one, man, it's just so good. Like, it's really good. Like the colors, like all the different colored plants. And you have Sprigatito very much so highlighted in the card. You have like a very nice emphasis on the Pokemon itself. It's just fantastic, honestly. Like you really can't find these art rares like anywhere else, and it's crazy to me that the Scarlet and Violet era is so like hated. Because these cards are just amazing. Like from a pure artwork perspective, this card it's just amazing. It's a work of art. That's what it is. It's a piece of art. The Florigato is no different. You have like the detailed housing in the background that kind of like leads upwards. You have like some windows. You have the sunlight piercing down. You have a nice like fully grown twisting tree. And you have all the different colored like potted plants. And you have Florigato kind of like looking over into the distance, which just looks great. Not as good as this Sprigatito in my opinion, but I do think it still looks really good. I'm gonna put it right here. Move the Clauncher down. Unfortunately, I'm moving the Tarantula down to C tier. Again, I don't hate any artworks ever, but I just think that comparatively it is just like lower. The next is the Bramblin by Soso. This card is really cute. I like how the Bramblins are just like playing around in this like saloon kind of western town. It's kind of fits the vibe of Bramblin as it's supposed to be like a tumbleweed, so wild western town like works perfectly for it. Um, I think that all the Bramblins look really funny. There's one moving a wheel. There's one they're like kind of trying to escape like a gate or something. There's just a bunch of them in the card. This one's also by Soso, who did the Griever. I think it's a really cute looking card. It's not my favorite art rare of all time or anything, but I think it looks cute. So I'll put it like right here. I think that's fine. Perfect. All right, our next one is going to be the Fletchender. This is by Atsushi Furusawa. Man, this one is so good. Like the colors are just so nice on this card. You would not expect Fletchender to be sitting by a campfire, but it's perfect. Like when you see it, it's perfect. You have some camping gear right behind the Pokemon. I'm assuming the trainer has like this campfire set up, and you have a Fletchender kind of just like enjoying the flames. Man, it's so pretty. Like it's just so nice looking. You have like a hatchet like stuck into a log. You have a bunch of trees in the background. You have like a nice heat lamp, some steaming coffee with a little fletchling on the coffee mug, which is actually really awesome. Little Pokeball logo on the water bottle. There's just so many details in this card. They're just like so amazing, and that's the thing. With a lot of these art rares, there's so many nice like little details, and I think this card is in A tier. Honestly, I really do. The Pyroar, wow, oh my gosh. Po Suzuki, not really an artist that I hear that much about, but there's so much, it's so nice in this card, so many details. You have this twisting tree, Pyro's using it to the full extent to just kind of like lay down and kind of sleep on. Not sleeping obviously, but just laying down. You have a Litleo kind of walking up to him, and you have a bunch of Pyroars and Litleos just kind of, like laying down with like their family. And the colors are so nice. It's like a watercolor painting almost. It feels in the background. Like the background is a little bit less detailed in a nice way, like an abstract way. Foreground is really detailed and really nice. Um, Pyroar, I mean, a Pokemon that I would not expect to get a nice looking art rare, but it does. I'm happy to own it. I'm really happy to own it. Um, I'll put it in like high B plus tier. I think that is pretty deserving. I think it looks really nice. Our next art rare is going to be the Fuecoco. Skeleturge all art from Paldea Evolved is probably my favorite all art in the set, but there's so many good ones. The Fuecoco is really great. I really like how it's like biting on an apple, but the person is shopping. It's not like a lazy shopping scene either. Like it's not lazily put together. You have every single like you have every single product on the walls, and they would all have their own respective prices. So they have like the stickers on the bottom, it's some chips hanging from a hanger, like you would in an actual store. But it's obviously Pokemonified, right? So you have like items that would probably more help Pokemon than they would help people, right? Which is cool. I think it's really, really got a lot of personality to it. So I'm gonna put it pretty decently high, actually. I think I'm gonna put it in like top of B plus tier, or maybe even A tier, just like the bottom of A, like right up here, maybe. I think that's fine. The next one is a Crocolore. This one is also pretty cute. Obviously, he kind of went on like a rampage or something while the trainer wasn't paying attention. He's eating some food. Um, and they're still on like their kind of adventure through the grocery store, which is pretty cool. And the ending card, which is the Skeledirge, they're out of the grocery store and he's holding the groceries on his back, so it like really wraps it up well. But just looking at the Crocolore by itself, I don't like it as much as the Fuecoco, but I will put it in like maybe B tier. I think that's fair. To still have a lot of personality, obviously. Now, this is the one that everybody loves, the Magikarp by Shinji Kanda. I love it too. I can't lie. I do really love this card a lot. I really think it's so cool. Magikarp is like glistening in this card. It's just so nice. He looks kind of crystallized, even though obviously he's not like a Terra Pokemon or anything, but he just looks like he's made out of crystal. Like he's glowing and like shining. And you have a Gyarados that's like also shining in the background as well. It's kind of hard to miss if you're not paying attention. You have like the Gyarados kind of like squirming around, staring right at Magikarp as it like irradiates the area around it. You have like this mountain, you have a bunch of lightning coming down and a bunch of plants, the waterfall. And the cool thing about this waterfall is that the mountain at the top, the waterfall, it like cascades down, so you have like a zigzag all the way down to the bottom of the card. So it's very nice through line. Very, very nice looking card. Put it in A plus tier, maybe even S tier. Throw it in S tier for now. I might drop it, but I do really like it. This one is so cute. I really like this Meryl. By Atsuya Uki, not an artist that I hear a lot about again, but I might be wrong. Bruxish is in the art rare. This is a Bruxish art rare technically, but you also have Toxapex and another Bruxish, but you have a bunch of Pincurchin sitting at the bottom, just kind of like in their own little huddle. McClauncher, a bunch of Love Discs, and then you have like these tropical islands. Meryl just like sitting in a bubble, like smiling at the top. Really, really cute looking card. A lot of personality again. I really like this one a lot, actually. I'll put it in A tier, and I'm just a big fan of it, actually. The next one is going to be the Ice Cube. This is by Nell Nell. For an art rare of Ice Cube, I think it does have a lot of personality to it. A lot of really nice looking colors. Like you have this consistent yellow that goes throughout the card. Obviously, you have like a orangish yellow on Ice Cube's feet, but you also have the yellow of the lamps. You have the yellow stripes on the background. You have the yellow books, yellow, stuff around the house, and then you have them like searching through the fridge. The fridge just so happens to have a hole just the size of Ice Cube's head, so he's sticking his whole head in it. Um, Again, a lot of personality, and for a Pokemon like Ice Cube to get an art rare like that, it's kind of funny in my opinion. I actually quite like it. It's not my favorite art rare of all time or anything, but I do think it's kind of cute. I'm gonna put it like. But the thing is like I really do like a lot of these art rares a lot, especially from Paldea Vault. Quaxley. This is by Soichiro Gunshima. Um, this one is not my favorite. I think it's my least favorite out of all three of the starters, but it has a lot of details in it, so I do respect that. He's like doing his own hairstyle. Um, it is not my favorite though, unfortunately. I will put it in B minus tier. I do think it still looks nice. Obviously, I think that all of them look nice, but this one is probably my lower tier. This one I like it less, honestly. I just really don't like Quaxwell. And when opening this set, I'm pretty sure I pulled 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of these when I was opening Paldea Evolved, so it's kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. The artwork itself is obviously very nice, though. I think Soichiro Gunjuma is a really great artist. I'm not the hugest fan of Quaxwell as a Pokemon, so unfortunately, I think we'll have to put it a little bit lower on the list, maybe C tier. Um, Actually, it's my least favorite art rare. Like one of my least favorites. Not has nothing to do with the artist. It's just that funny fact. This is another Tomokazu artwork. This is going to be the Frigibax art rare, which looks fantastic. I mean, you have like a cottage in the background. You have some warped trees, obviously Tomokazu style, and he's like bouncing upside down on a road. It's keeping him upside down. You have a bunch of like lines going around, kind of like DNA helix fossil like helixes. You have the grass is like floating into the sky, really a lot of personality for a Pokemon like Frigibax you would not expect for sure, but it is very, very awesome. So it inclines me to put it in BT plus tier. This one is even crazier. You go from like a pretty normal looking scene to a ridiculous and crazy looking scene. You have Frigibacks. He's like when he's bouncing, his tail like creates an indent in the floor. You have like this brick, because this card is in like two dimensions, so you have like the brick underlayer on the back. And then you have like these abstract looking houses, abstract trees with like squares of many different colors inside. You have trees breaking all around them. It turns into a crazy abstract card, which means that I like it a little bit more, because I like when Tomokazu's style gets a little bit more abstract and just like crazy, and then this final one is ridiculous. You don't even know what's happening in this card. You have the Excalibur who's like upside down. The road is completely warped. Um, but you can still obviously tell that the Excalibur is there. But you have like a bunch of paintings in the background now. You have like a painting of somebody screaming. You have a painting, just like some random stuff in the background. But you have like these really nice abstract colors, and it just looks fantastic. You have like obviously this is a tree, but it's like purple and pink and like deep purple and white and orange. It's like a bunch of different random colors, which is really cool. I mean, honestly, it's just like super, super cool. I prefer the abstract style to like the more samey style of Tomokazu's work. So obviously, this is gonna push it up for me. Um, yeah, I like it a lot. This is by Toshino Aoki. This is gonna be the Raichu. Man, this one is so cute too. There's just so many good artworks, especially in this Scarlet and Violet era. There's just so many of them. I really, really love it. He's like sleeping down and he's charging like static electricity all around him as he's smiling. Very cute looking card. Big fan of it. Um, it is not my favorite art rare in the whole Scarlet and Violet era or anything, but I do think it is pretty cute. Just looking at my list right now, I think I'll put it in like B tier. That seems fair to me. This one, oh my gosh, this one is so good. This is a Miss Magius. This is by Aoki. I really like this one a lot. I know that Miss Maggie's isn't really doing anything in the card, but it doesn't really have to. Like the background itself, like carries the card so hard. You have it in like this kind of almost like a picture frame made out of wood. You have Miss Maggie smiling in the middle, but you have like also kind of like it looks like almost like an eye with like the white iris or whatever it is, and then like the purple kind of like open void. The colors, the leaves, the branches on this card is just like fantastic. One of my favorites, definitely in the set. I'm gonna put it in A plus tier. I don't know how controversial these opinions are, by the way. If they're controversial, then I'm sorry. I would recommend that you make your own list for sure. This is the Gotharita. Um, this one isn't really my favorite. This is by Sei Nanahara. Sei Nanahara can do some ridiculously crazy artworks, and this is not my favorite one out of all of them that they've ever done. Not to discredit them or anything. I think that they're fantastic artists still. But just the colors on this one are not like fantastic. Um, I like how Gotharita has like a pink outline. That's kind of cool. There's like some floating clothes in the background. But there are definitely better art rares in this set than this one. So I'll put it a little bit lower. Um, maybe like C tier. That sounds pretty fine with me. This one is cute though. Sandy Gas. Sandy Gas is a very nice looking Pokemon in this card. He looks kind of sad, but he's on a playground all by himself. He's in like the sand pit, obviously. He's just staring right at the camera, but it's like sunset, and you have like the sun like shining straight through his little opening. You have the slide, you have a bunch of different stuff that you'd see on a playground. Just a cute looking artwork. Honestly, I'm a big fan of it. I'm just a big fan of like a lot of these artworks. They're just so filled with personality and life. Man, I'm repeating myself so much. I bet I sound like a crazy broken record right now. But I do really like this one. Yes, B plus. It's fine. Our next one is the Rabska. This is by Nagimuso. Um, again, it's not my favorite art rare in the whole entire set, but again, it's an art rare. All art rares look good in my opinion. I like how they're floating towards the sky. I think that's interesting. I don't know if Rabska actually does that in the game, but I do like the background in it. I think it's nicely detailed. Um, but like I said, it's not my favorite art in the whole set, so I'll put it in B minus here. I don't hate it, obviously, but it is not my favorite. Our next one is going to be the Tinkatink. This is by Tika Matsuno. There's a bunch of gemstones. The gemstones are all different colors, different shapes, different sizes. That makes this card definitely stand out a little bit more. And then you have like this broken rock right here, which is kind of like a geode. So you have like a puddle of water, from what I'm assuming, um, bundled rocks and stuff like that. And then Tinkatink is running around. And then you can see the outside of the cave from the inside of the cave, which is really cool. It's kind of like nighttime. This is like snowy kind of substance is falling into the cave, stalagmites. Got a lot of detail in the card. Um, I'm gonna have to put it in B tier, but where in B tier? Like right here? Yeah. That's okay with me. This one, same thing. You can see outside of the cave, but obviously Tinkatuff is working on something, like kind of building something. In the final card, which is a Tinkatun EX special illustration rare, which I can't really include in this list. Um, he finishes the hammer, or she finishes the hammer. You also have the geode as well here. It's kind of like growing some crystals in it, a bunch of different colors, some berries as well to kind of like break up the monotony of gemstones. It's cute. I like it. I like it a little bit more than the regular one, but I will put it right here. Palmont, you're going down to B minus, and you're going down here. Okay, let's see. Next, we got the Paldea Tauros. And man, this one is really great. This is by Anisaki Dynamic, and this one is just great. The color of the sky is just so mesmerizing. Like that deep orange that they used is so great. There's so many of this Pokemon, so many Tauros, but they're not like all the same. They don't all look exactly the same. This one is looking back at the herd. This one is looking to the left. This one is like kind of like pouting. This one's looking to the right. This one is looking forward. This one is looking forward. You know, they're all looking kind of different ways, and they're all not the exact same. But then you have the one in the middle, which is blocking the sun. He's like staring straight at the camera, like running straight at it, and you have like the sun, which is reflecting off of his fur. Man, wow, just so good. It's like so good. So detailed and like so just like extravagant, honestly. It's just really impressive what they're able to do with these cards. That's fine. That's fine with me. B plus. The Sudowoodo is amazing. It's so cute. Um, he's just trying to blend in. But the plaza itself is nicely detailed. All the houses look very distinct. Entrances, obviously, a bunch of trees, and they're nicely lined up. Another bunch of other trees, and they're also nicely lined up. Sudowoodo looks really cute. Not my favorite art rare in the entire set, but there's just so many good ones. It's hard to pick a favorite. Um, but I think I'm gonna throw this one in B minus tier, just for now. But it does have a lot of character, a lot of personality. Our next one is the Knackley. This is by Ryota Murayama. I like how there's a bunch of salt, like cooking supplies, almost like they're gonna eat Knackley. There's a boiling pot of water. He's just staring right at the camera. Um, I think he might die, but besides that, I think that the card looks nice. I'll put it in B tier, C tier, maybe. Yeah. Next one is Paldean Wooper. He's kind of like laying in like a puddle of mud. I like it a lot, actually. Miki Tanaka, I think they did a better job with this one than the Tarantula, just because there's a little bit more character in this one. Wooper's like kind of like blowing bubbles underwater or under the mud, and he just looks really happy. Um, Big fan of that one. It's like the colors are so simplistic, but they work really well. So I'll put it in B plus tier. It's just got a lot of character for sure. Then we got the Tyranitar. This is by Nurikabe. I think they were the person that also did the Sandile earlier, so same artist. You got Staravia, Staraptor, and then you have the Tyranitar obviously looking off into the distance. This really nice like bottom to top angle of the Pokemon, and you have the sun peeking in the back. Purple, obviously yellow, for the dark sun, dark sky. Um, Really striking looking card. And yeah, I think I'll have to put it in B tier, but I do like it. I like it a good amount, but I don't think it is like the S plus infinite tier that everybody's talking about. This one is though. We immediately go on to like my favorite art rare from Paldea Evolved, the Grafii. It accentuates the Pokemon perfectly. It captures its mannerisms, it captures its energy perfectly. You have this giant pillar. Obviously, it just destroyed it with all these different colors, these different paints, and you have like this super dynamic pose. Also, Kato just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. I think this is definitely like my first or second favorite card from this entire set. It's so good. Like it's so colorful, so energetic, so like interesting. Like all the different colors flying around is just such a great idea. So yeah, for that I'll have to put it pretty decently high. I'll have to put it in S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in S tier. I'm gonna put it above the Magikarp because I kind of prefer it over the Magikarp. But next card is gonna be the Orthworm by Okacheke. This card is cute. I like it. I don't love it. It's not my favorite art rare. I'm happy that Orthworm got a card though. It is detailed. It is nice. Definitely not my favorite one from the set though, which means I'm gonna put it in C tier. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put it there for now. Our next one is Rukidi. This is by Gosan. It's a cute looking artwork. It's not as powerful as the Starly from Scarlet and Violet base set, in my opinion, but I do kind of like how he's got a bunch of seeds on his face. I think that's pretty cute. The flowers are nice. The bricks are nice. It's not my favorite art rare though. For sure. I think that there are definitely better ones than this one. So I'll put it in C tier, like right here. I think that's fine. The mouse hold is very cute though. You have a bunch of different like mouse hold, kind of like in their little burrows around the tree. You got one wearing his like mushroom as a cap, and they're all just like sleeping. Um, Very cute looking card. They're kind of building like a society, which is kind of cute. Um, it is not my favorite arbor of all time, of course, but it is nice. I will put it in B minus tier. I'll put it like right next to the. Yeah, I think this actually works out pretty well. This spot right here. Our next one is the Flamigo by Shibuzo. Again, I pulled this one like 4 or 5 times, but this one, unlike the Quaxwell, I actually didn't get sick of looking at because the artwork on this one is just great. I like how they're all like standing around in like the ocean, pretty much. They're standing on top of the waves, and you have like the nice like yellow orange sky in the background. They all look really nice. They kind of all look the exact same, but I think that's the point. I like the yellow outline around them, and then I like how the one in the middle is kind of like at peace, like kind of biting at itself or sleeping or something. It has a lot of personality, I think. So I will put it in B tier. B tier, like right here. That's fine. Sorry, I was just kind of quiet. It's just because I was like really thinking. Cool. Okay. And our next one is going to be the Farigiraf. I really like this one a lot. Actually, this is by Mina Nakai, same artist as the cloth one from earlier. I like this one a lot more though. I think it's just got such a great personality. Like I like how Farigiraf looks when it has its mask down, and then they're just like smiling straight at the camera. This one is kind of like also just looking right at the camera. This one's looking away. This one's looking away as well. These ones are just looking straight at the camera with their nice little smiles. The reeds and the grass look really nice, nicely detailed. The background with like the clouds looks really great. And you have like a little nice like strip of green to kind of break up the colorway. So I really like this one. I really think it has a lot of personality. So I'm gonna put it in B plus tier. I think it's really nice looking, like right up here, maybe a little bit higher actually, right there. Yeah. Our next one and our final one for Paldea Evolved is the Dunsparce. This one is surrounded by a bunch of different Pokemon. They all look kind of happy, angry. You know, you got a Scatterbug, some actual Dunsparces, Fungus guarding a Pokeball. Um, you got a Dedenne. I'm trying to really understand what I'm looking at right now in this card. Like, I think they're above ground, right? Or are they below ground? I'm trying to figure this out right now. I think they're below ground. Like, he's like surfacing. Like, this is a 2D image, right? Like, this is Dedenne is like meeting his friend at the top, and then this is like where the ground cuts off, but they're like digging underneath, and this is like the burrows that they have. That's pretty cute. A little bit kind of hard to see, but it is a Saya Saruta artwork, which means that there's a hidden Pokeball on the card. This one, it's not really that hidden. It's right here. But I think it's cute. I like it. Um, let's see where I'm putting this thing. Maybe B minus tier, like right here. I'm gonna move this one up a little bit, like up here. And yeah, that's my list for now. This is Scarlet and Violet base set and Paldea Evolved ranked. Next time, I'm going to be doing Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift, probably that just those two sets most likely. And 151. So those sets will be ranked in the next video. But for this one, yeah, this is my list. If you guys have any comments, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.